Ever wondered why Nigeria, a country rich in natural resources, continues to face economic struggles? This paradox is one that has puzzled economists and international observers for years. Nigeria, a West African nation, is blessed with an abundance of natural resources. It's a country that sits on a gold mine, both literally and figuratively. It's home to vast reserves of oil, gas, and a variety of minerals, including tin, limestone, coal, lead, and zinc. These resources, particularly oil, have catapulted Nigeria into the global economic arena. The nation's gross domestic product, or GDP, has consistently ranked as the largest in Africa, outpacing other resource-rich countries like South Africa and Egypt. But here's where the paradox comes in. Despite the wealth beneath its soil, Nigeria grapples with numerous economic challenges. Poverty is widespread, with a significant proportion of the population living on less than $1 a day. Unemployment rates are high, especially among the youth, and the country's infrastructure is in dire need of improvement. There's a stark contrast between Nigeria's potential wealth and the harsh economic reality many of its citizens face. The country is like a well-stocked kitchen where the majority are hungry. An scenario that prompts the question, why? Why? Why, with all its natural wealth, does Nigeria still struggle economically? Why does a country with such abundant resources have such high poverty and unemployment rates? These are questions that have no simple answers. They involve a complex web of historical, political, and economic factors that intertwine to create the current situation. Yet, amidst these challenges, Nigeria remains a potent economic force in Africa. Its vast natural resources, coupled with its enormous market size and strategic location, make it a country with immense economic potential. It's a nation on the brink of greatness, if only it can find a way to harness its resources effectively and equitably. So, what makes Nigeria the richest country in Africa despite these challenges? Stick around to find out. Nigeria's oil wealth plays a significant role in its economy, but how much exactly? Let's delve deeper into this question. When we talk about Nigeria's economy, it's impossible not to mention oil. The country is the largest oil producer in Africa and the 12th largest in the world. The black gold, as it's often called, accounts for over 90% of Nigeria's export revenue and around 60% of the total government revenue. That's a hefty chunk of the country's wealth tied up in this one resource. But what happens when oil prices fluctuate on the global market? Well, Nigeria feels the impact. When oil prices soar, the country's revenue rises, allowing for increased spending on infrastructure, education, health, and other public sectors. However, when oil prices plummet as they did in 2014 and again in 2020, Nigeria's economy takes a hit. The drop in revenue can lead to budget cutbacks, delayed projects, and in some cases, recession. Oil also contributes significantly to Nigeria's gross domestic product, or GDP. In the second quarter of 2023, oil represented about 10% of the country's GDP. That might not seem like much considering the revenue figures we just talked about, but remember, GDP includes all the goods and services produced within a country's borders, so oil's contribution is substantial. However, the heavy reliance on oil has its drawbacks. It has led to a neglect of other sectors and caused economic instability due to the volatility of oil prices. Moreover, the environmental impact of oil production has been devastating, leading to pollution and degradation of the Niger Delta region. As you can see, oil is a major player in Nigeria's economy, but it's not the only resource that contributes to the country's wealth. As we move on, we'll explore other natural resources that make Nigeria the richest country in Africa. Beyond oil, Nigeria boasts of numerous other natural resources. Let's dig deeper into this. The country is not just a one-trick pony, and its wealth extends far beyond its oil fields. Natural gas, for one, is a resource of considerable abundance in Nigeria, with the nation holding the largest natural gas reserves in Africa. The production and export of this resource have been a significant source of revenue for the country, supplementing the income generated from oil. Next up, we have tin. Nigeria was once a major exporter of tin, and while production levels have decreased over the years, the metal still contributes to the nation's economy. The tin mines in the Jos Plateau represent a significant part of Nigeria's history and economy. Iron ore, another mineral resource, can be found in substantial quantities in Nigeria. Deposits of iron ore are spread across several states, and the mining and export of this resource has contributed to the growth of the nation's GDP. Coal reserves in Nigeria are estimated to be in the billions of tons. While the use of coal as a source of energy has declined globally, it remains a significant part of Nigeria's energy mix. Limestone is another resource that Nigeria has in abundance. It is used in the production of cement, an essential material in the booming construction industry. Lead and zinc are also found in significant amounts in Nigeria. These metals are used in a variety of industries, from construction to automobile manufacturing, contributing to the country's industrial growth. While these resources may not be as headline-grabbing as oil, they play an integral role in the Nigerian economy. Each of these resources has helped shape the country's economic landscape, providing jobs, fueling industries, and contributing to the nation's wealth. These resources, though not as prominent as oil, still contribute significantly to Nigeria's wealth. Nigeria's wealth isn't just in its natural resources. The country's human capital is another treasure trove. In the beating heart of Africa, Nigeria boasts a population of over 200 million people. That's more than twice the size of the United Kingdom's population. This vast number of people presents an immense potential for growth and development. A large population is like a gold mine, providing the workforce needed to drive the economy. Nigeria's human capital is a vast reservoir of potential that is just waiting to be tapped. But it's not just about the numbers. The quality of this human capital is equally important. Education, for instance, is a critical factor. Nigeria has been making strides in this regard. The literacy rate has been steadily climbing over the years, with an estimated 75% of the population now literate. This represents a significant increase from the 52% literacy rate recorded in the early 90s. This growth in literacy is a testament to the country's commitment to education, which is a key driver of economic development. Moreover, Nigeria's human capital is rich in skills and talent. From tech geniuses making waves in Silicon Valley to literary giants penning award-winning novels, Nigerians are leaving their mark globally. At home, the burgeoning tech industry, vibrant creative sector, and dynamic entrepreneurial scene are evidence of the country's wealth of expertise and innovation. These skills and talents are vital cogs in the economic machine, driving growth and creating wealth. It's important to note that this human capital doesn't just contribute to Nigeria's economy in isolation. It also plays a role in the global economy. Nigerians in the diaspora send home billions of dollars annually, contributing significantly to the country's gross domestic product. So, while Nigeria's oil wealth and natural resources are indeed impressive, it's clear that the country's true wealth lies in its people. Their skills, talents, and potential are the real drivers of Nigeria's economy. Indeed, Nigeria's human capital is a significant contributor to its wealth. Despite being the richest country in Africa, Nigeria faces economic challenges. What is the way forward? The key to unlocking Nigeria's economic potential lies in three areas: diversification, improved governance, and investment in human capital. Firstly, diversification. Nigeria's economy is heavily dependent on oil, which has been both a blessing and a curse. When oil prices are high, the country prospers, but when they're low, the economy suffers. Diversifying the economy can reduce this vulnerability. Agriculture, for instance, offers a vast potential for growth. Imagine a Nigeria where its fertile lands are fully utilized, where farming is not just a means of subsistence, but a profitable venture. Secondly, improved governance. Corruption and poor governance have consistently undermined Nigeria's economic growth. But imagine a different scenario. Imagine a Nigeria where public funds are used judiciously, where corruption is not tolerated, and where investments are made in infrastructure and public services. This could lead to a more stable and prosperous economy. Lastly, investment in human capital. Nigeria is home to a large and youthful population, a veritable treasure trove of potential. But without the right investments in education, healthcare, and training, this potential could go untapped. Picture a Nigeria where every child has access to quality education, where healthcare is affordable and accessible, and where young people are equipped with the skills needed for the jobs of the future. But these are not mere imaginings. They are real possibilities, achievable with the right policies, leadership, and commitment. Nigeria has the resources, both natural and human, to become not just the richest country in Africa, but one of the most prosperous countries in the world. The road ahead may be challenging, but it is not insurmountable. The journey towards a more prosperous Nigeria begins with a single step, a step towards diversification, improved governance, and investment in human capital. With the right policies and initiatives, Nigeria can harness its wealth for the benefit of all its citizens.